Hey there, friends. I've got another little slideshow for you. A scratch build of a standing stone circle. Because basically, my thoughts behind what I'm going to put into my layout are, if I were to take a train journey and watch things out the window, what would be the series of scenes that I would see that would make me say, that was the most amazing train journey I've ever had. And that's the sort of philosophy I'm putting in. So there's going to be a bunch of stuff that are just generally things that I like or interest me, and quite a lot of those things may not be standard train layout things or scenery. So one of the things I like is standing stones, so I decided to build my own standing stone circle, or maybe not exactly a circle, but you'll see. So the first thing I did is I found a CD spacer. It was actually in a packet of recordable CDs that I'd used in the past, and for some reason it came with this kind of clear plastic CD shaped object, which I thought would make a good base. So the first thing I did is I took that and I just chopped up some of the packing peanuts which came with the track. If you haven't seen that video, it's, I think, the second one that came out on this channel, I think. So I cut up the packing peanuts and just used PVA glue and stuck them to the base in order to create a general shape of a mound which the stone circle could be on. Then I just got some multi-purpose polyfiller, which I happen to have, to cover the mound in, cover the polystyrene packing peanuts to create this sort of landscaped shape. I think this is sort of relatively standard practice in creating landscapes, is to create a kind of polystyrene base and then coat it with a harder plaster type substance. From looking at other videos, that seems to be what people generally do. So once that had dried, I painted it with just some very watered down acrylics, just to give it that greenish tinge, so that if any of the surface showed through the flocking I intended to do later, it would not be glaringly obvious. Although in hindsight I probably should have maybe used a bit more paint. I was conserving my paint at that point because I was concerned about using it all up, but since then I've bought a bunch of big pots of acrylic, so I should be alright for the future. Anyway, I crudely built these little lumps of clay and stuck them on the top and waited for them to dry. I was thinking I might have to glue them on, but yet again the DAS air drying clay seems to have stuck very successfully to the surface, so that wasn't a problem. And then after that I just painted them a very dark grey, waited for that to dry as that was sort of undercoat colour, and then I dry brushed some lighter grey on there to create that sort of slightly more realistic stone looking look. Then of course came the flocking. So I just used the flock that I made in the other video, which is like made out of sawdust from cat litter and paint, and just flocked that up. I had to again do a few levels of this. So I think this is a picture of it's a picture of the first layer of flock that I put down. So you can still see some gaps there, and I subsequently just spotted some, used a little pipette and put some more glue down and patched the gaps to try and make sure that there wasn't obvious gaps, because looking at it you can see that the colour differential is quite significantly a different shade than the flock, so it does pop out. So I did need to make sure I covered that up. And then I did the final thing, which was I tried to put on some undergrowth with some of the other sort of clumping flock I'd made before, and some of the professionally bought flock. But to be honest, I'm not that happy with this step and wish I kind of hadn't done it. I guess there might be a way I could improve that. That's definitely something that I need to get better at for the future. But overall I think it's okay. I do wish that I'd held off from that, or maybe there's a way to improve it. So basically, if any of you guys have any tips about how I can get better at the sort of undergrowth stuff, especially in N-Gage, because I see a lot of people using that lichen, but to me it looks kind of too big scale for N-Gage. Anyway, if you have any tips on how I can get better at that bit, that would be really much appreciated, and just let me know in the comments below, and I definitely read all of the comments, because I don't really get very many. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of it, and maybe I've inspired somebody out there to make their own stone circle. Whether it's one that's a sort of permanently placed, or something that is like mine, a kind of floating stone circle that I can place anywhere that I feel like, once my layout is a bit more put together. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.